Did your survey go horribly wrong? If you're a marketer or academic researcher, you've likely experienced that gut-wrenching moment when you realize that after investing countless hours into designing the perfect survey, your data is misleading or simply doesn't align with reality. It's a frustrating experience, especially when those findings are crucial for making informed decisions. Surveys are essential tools for both market analysts and academic researchers. They help us gather insights, measure attitudes, and inform strategies. However, when biases creep in, the integrity of our research is at stake. The pain points are real. Misrepresentative data can lead to wasted resources, misguided strategies, and flawed conclusions. Market researchers often grapple with selection bias, where the sample doesn't accurately represent the target audience. Imagine launching a product based on feedback from a skewed demographic. Your marketing strategy could completely miss the mark. Academic researchers face similar challenges. Incorrect conclusions can affect future studies and funding opportunities. Let's dive into some common biases that might be affecting your surveys. First up is response bias. Respondents may provide answers they think are socially acceptable rather than their true feelings. This can inflate satisfaction scores or underreport issues, leading to data that simply doesn't reflect reality. Next is acquiescence bias. This occurs when participants agree with statements just to avoid conflict or because it feels easier. If your questions are mostly positively phrased, you might end up with a false sense of approval for your product or service. And let's not forget question order bias. The sequence in which you ask questions can significantly sway responses. Starting with a positive question can lead to overly optimistic answers later on. Now let's shift our focus to issues specifically related to survey questionnaires that can sabotage your efforts even further. Too many demographic questions. Surveys often start with an overwhelming number of demographic questions that may be unnecessary. Existing customers might find these repetitive and annoying, leading to lower response rates. Inadequate response options. Ensure your response options cover all scenarios without overlapping. Confusing options can lead to erroneous data, like providing ranges that don't clearly delineate between choices. Leading questions. Be cautious of leading questions that suggest a desired answer. For example, asking how much do you love our new product implies that respondents should love it, skewing their responses. Double-barreled questions. Avoid asking two questions at once, like how satisfied are you with our product and customer service. This can confuse respondents and make it hard to interpret results. Ambiguous wording. Questions should be clear and straightforward. Ambiguous wording can lead to varied interpretations among respondents, resulting in inconsistent data. Excessive open-ended questions. While open-ended questions can provide valuable insights, too many can overwhelm respondents and complicate analysis. Limit these to 3 or 4 well-thought-out questions. Lengthy surveys. Long surveys can frustrate respondents and lead to drop-offs or incomplete answers. Keep your surveys concise and focused on actionable insights. Let's look at some real-life examples to illustrate these biases in action. For instance, consider a market researcher who conducted a survey about consumer preferences for a new product line. They found that 80% of respondents claimed they would purchase the product based on initial questions framed positively. However, when they followed up with open-ended questions about concerns or alternatives, the responses revealed significant hesitations and preferences for competing products. So how do you know if your survey is effective or biased? Here are some key indicators to watch for. Analyze response patterns. Look for inconsistencies in responses that don't align with what you know about your audience. Check for extremes. If most responses cluster at one end of the scale, e.g., all positive, it may indicate response bias. Conduct follow-up interviews. Direct conversations can help clarify ambiguous responses and reveal underlying biases. Now that we've identified common biases, let's discuss practical solutions to improve your survey design. First, prioritize respondent comfort and anonymity. Especially for sensitive questions, when people know their responses are anonymous, they're more likely to answer honestly without fear of judgment. Second, randomize your question order. Many survey tools offer this feature, which helps counteract question order bias by preventing earlier questions from influencing later responses. Another effective technique is to mix up your phrasing. Balance positive and negative statements in your survey. Instead of solely asking, do you find our product helpful, include variations like, what could be improved about our product? This encourages respondents to share diverse opinions and helps avoid acquiescence bias. Before launching your survey, always pre-test it with a small audience. Gather feedback on any ambiguous questions or potential biases. A quick pre-test can save you significant time later by ensuring your survey is as neutral and effective as possible. If you've ever faced challenges with survey data, or if you're just curious about how to improve your research outcomes, this channel is here for you. Hit that subscribe button to learn more about effective survey design. And let us know in the comments which survey bias frustrates you the most.